Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's August the 7th, 2022, and today I've got a few postcards I can write. I've got 3 officials I can write, and I've got some swaps and friend mail to respond to, so that's fantastic. Also, I got a couple new postcards this week. My son and his girlfriend's family went up to the Miramichi River and did some tubing, and his girlfriend Lauren was kind enough to get a couple postcards for me, so I want to show you what they are. So we have this one here. This is Galan's Miramichi River tubing experience. You can see the tubers going down the lazy part of the river and some sunsets there. And the address if you're in New Brunswick and you want to do it yourself. And here's another one with kind of the close-up of people tubing down the river. Not an experience I've done, but would love to do it. I just never seem to find the time, so I was so glad when my son got the opportunity to go and do it with his girlfriend's family. So thank you, Lauren, for those postcards. All right, now let me show you what I've got going out officially. My first 3 ones going out. So I have one going to Germany, and his name is Rainer, and he lives in the left lower Rhine area of Germany. He likes city trips, photography, playing billiards, watching sports, and since his youth he's collected stamps, so he wants to receive a postcard that doesn't have an envelope, which I can appreciate. Or if it comes in an envelope, it's nice to have some stamps included in them. So he says he likes postcards of famous people, cover of the New Yorker, greetings from birds, fauna, and from Belarus, aerial city views, Dutch images, buildings, bridges, and lighthouses, and it goes on and on. So that's kind of cool that he has a whole list of it, and he's got Flickr accounts that kind of gives you examples of what the different cards that he likes are. So I went with this one because it's anything that I get that's new, I tend to try to send out right away because it's fresh in my mind. But when he said he likes bridges, here's the Miramichi Bridge. We got these cards from Wendy last week, so this one will go out to Rainer. So hopefully he likes that. All right, the next one also is going to Germany, and this is going to Sabrina, and she is big into traveling. She loves to cook. She is married with 2 children, and she likes cards that are fantasy, dragons, unicorns, colors that are pink and purple and turquoise and glittery. She likes starry skies, sloths, Pokemon, elves, fairies, Marvel, Game of Thrones, and so on, vampires, witches, lots of that sort of thing. So I thought, what a perfect card I probably have for her. Not everyone might appreciate a card that looks like this, but if you're into fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons and witches and adventure cards, hopefully this fits the bill for her. And my last official one is going to Stephanie. Stephanie is in San Diego, but she's originally from Germany. She's lived in San Diego for 11 years now and has been doing post-crossing for as long as she can remember. She's into photography and graphic design and the arts. And she says her favorite postcards are the ones that depict the culture and essence of a place in a beautiful aesthetic way. So I thought this postcard here. So this is the Cape Germain Lighthouse, which is in New Brunswick, and it's just before you get on the Confederation Bridge. There was a video I did going for the PEI meetup where actually I went and hiked out and saw this lighthouse. But this kind of shows it in a different kind of view. It's not all white and painted and beautiful as you see it now, but it was when it was kind of before being restored, and you've got the ominous sky in the background. So I really like the artistic way that this lighthouse is shown this way, so hopefully she will see the same. So those are my 3 officials that are going out. Now let me get to a few of the other cards that I plan on sending out as well. So I have this one, which I showed recently as well, but this is sea kayaking. So if you're in the Bay of Fundy and you're down in the St. Martin's area, you can rent kayaks and go explore the sea caves when the tide is high. When the tide is low, you got to go a long way out to get to anything. Now we're going to have a theme here. So these cards came in. I got these from Scotty at work. And so they came with a few of his role-playing games. And it kind of depicts the character as they are now and the character as the undead. So there are a few people that I know that enjoy cards like that. So I have that one going out. I also have this one going out. And we dig through. I also have this one going out. So all kind of creepy Halloween-y type images, but if you're into fantasy, those are the kind of cards you're looking for. And we're into all sorts of different things. So you'll see different profile requests, and those fit some of them. And people you get to know, you know kind of what they like. We have this one here. This is a post office and a mailbox at the post office in Quebec, Saint-Bernard-sur-Mer. So that one's going out. We have another meetup card that is heading out from the New Brunswick meetup we had here in Moncton on July the 2nd. It was interesting. I learned, and I didn't realize it at the time, Basil in India told me about it, that normally meetup cards, you have them all addressed beforehand who you're going to send them to, and you have them postmarked and stamped that day to send them off. So I didn't do that. I bought the cards there the day of the meetup, had them all stamped and signed by everyone as we do, but they came home blank. So after that, I just decided who they were going to go to randomly, and I continue to do so for people that maybe haven't gotten a meetup card or say they enjoy meetups. People that are still swapping with me and have said, you know, I'd really like to have a meetup card. Well, they'll get one when their card arrives. So that's kind of what I've been doing. All right, this one is in Alma, New Brunswick, the home of the sticky buns. We talk a lot about it when I go down to Fundy National Park. This is the wharf. So at high tide, you can see the boats are up. But when the tide is out, the boats sit on the sand. Showed you the Cape Germain Lighthouse. So here's another one, and this is showing it all fixed up. So if we took the two images, let me go back and find the other postcard. Here we go. Same lighthouse, completely different looking. One all fixed up and painted and ready for tourist season, and one kind of left to the winds and the salt of the sea air that are coming by. And the final one I'll show you is this one here. So this poor cat has had a bath and does not seem to like it, as cats don't tend to seem to like water. So that card is going out as well. Hopefully you guys are having a good raiding weekend, that you've had some adventures. I was able yesterday to go with my wife to Cornhill Nursery, and we talked about some of the boxwood plants that weren't doing so well, and we bought some lavender plants. And on the way back, we stopped at the Green Pig in Salisbury, which is a kind of country market. And so I showed you a video on that. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, go back and do that. Sometimes I know when I put out That Dad Guy Answers on Saturday, and then I put out a festival or a tour of something, one of them gets missed. You don't realize that there's two videos coming out the same day. So if you didn't, go back and have a look. I'm going to get to writing these cards. I also have some errands and things I got to get to doing today, but it's another hot day out there. So I'm going to enjoy being in around the air conditioning as much as possible. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend, and looking forward to things to come. For now, stay safe. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?